Yeah, what's up? What's up, everyone? Yo, we're live. YouTube, what up? What up? It's me, Rictone. It's Rictone Live, and your boy, Project Storm. All right, so this is gonna be part two, y'all. Last night we tackled the Stadia 4K thing. You know what I'm saying? Like certain people are putting it up. Maybe not checking the stats if it was 4K or not. Nothing crazy, but we had some people in the community, some interactions I saw on Twitter. So I wanted to bring some light to it. I wanted to see, you know what I'm saying, see what's up. You know what I'm saying? See what's really up with the situation. And Project Storm was watching, and he had some things he wanted to say. So I'm not gonna go too crazy into it. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna go too crazy, but he's gonna give his side of the story, and then we're gonna bring some others in too, man. We're gonna float some others in here too, but I wanted to Project to give his little thoughts. So Project, what's up, man?
Hey, you already know, Rictone. First of all,
Yeah,
thanks for having me on the platform, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking, we've been rocking out for a while, when it comes to this whole content creation and gaming thing and all that. So I'm happy to be here, man. I'll tell you that right now. I can
that's what's
say
up,
I can
man.
say that I watched the entire show that y'all did
What's
yesterday
up, Happy Club?
like three, four times.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Um,
It was funny yesterday.
yeah,
A lot of
you know what I'm
fun. A lot of
saying?
fun.
And it was, man. At times I was cracking up. I'm like, yo, these boys are wild, man. So but the thing is for me was this that when we're talking 4K 60, I always jump out there. That's one thing that I take pride in, right? So as you know, when we hit each other up or whatever, like we should do,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
When there's some clarity or misinformation, I'm not gonna go out there and snap on Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that. I
On
like
Tone and
that.
them, I want to know exactly what's going down. So first of all, I love the fact that you got us up in the building tonight, man.
Yeah.
Because
No doubt. No doubt.
there's some things that I think a lot of people can benefit from. For one, so I will ask a few questions if I can on certain things later on as we go, right? And it's gonna be. I know you said during that stream that you like to advocate and all that stuff, and so do I.
Right. Right. Right.
You know our content, you know what I'm saying? You rock with us as a guest before, me and MM and everything we do over there. But so the thing is, Stadia. I mean, now of course, you are the captain on the ship, so you could stop me, you can interject anytime.
Yeah. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But I just want to. I don't know where you wanted to start from. I don't know if you want to go to the chat, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah. Let me hit up. Let me hit up the chat. Let me see what's up, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Kiefer, what up? What up? I sent you the link, Keith. And JD probably gonna stop through. But I really want to give that. I'm gonna get you in. JD, I got you in the green room. I'm gonna get you in real quick. But let me see the chat real quick. Alberto, what up? What up? Who's on? Some new folks. Hey, just hanging out. Hey, what's up, man? Alberto Madonna.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Bro.
Yeah.
The bros in the building.
Okay, yeah. I gotta have MM sometime, man. We
Yeah.
gotta. I'm trying to get the Stadia 100 guys. I see a lot of stuff on Twitter, man. I want to see what's up.
And that's why we're gonna be scratching the surface, Tone.
Gotta scratch
That's why
the
we gotta
surface.
do it, man. We gotta have the conversations. Everybody has to be a part of the conversations when it
I
comes
love
to
it. I
whatever
love it.
community. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying?
It's healthy. It's healthy. Stadia
Yeah.
Mania. What's up? Evening, sir. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna ask Project some stuff, and I'm gonna get JD in also because he was on last night.
Word.
But I gotta give the floor to Project real quick. Hey, what's good? Project Kia. Hey, man. If y'all new over
Skills
here,
in the
man,
building, the
that
bros.
sub button, nothing is wrong with it. It's working, man. It's working, that sub button. And I'm gonna put Project's channel and all that. Yeah. You already know.
Man, I appreciate
Scar
y'all.
King
Y'all know
in
what to
here.
do. If you up in here, y'all want to hear it.
Scar
Let's get
King. Yo, Project, I'm gonna let you know my chat. They say anything, man.
No, it's all good, man. Your chat, man. I've been around. I was in the joint I was checking it out last night.
Yeah.
So I've been in the live before.
Yeah, yes sir. All right, so so let us know what was the what you thought of last night and what things you disagree with. Like, let people know where you stand with that issue. Since I explained it and a lot of people watched it, let us know what you think of last night.
All right, first, I think a lot of people are guilty on this one right here, is not really getting the messages out there. Some people make assumptions and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? We're all guilty of it. And then I feel like sometimes the messaging is not as clear. I'm guilty of that as well, right?
Right.
But
Right.
on the 4K 60 side, like when I was listening to the show, I'm like, damn, brothers got some interesting takes on everything, right? You can't even be mad at somebody's opinions. That's the first thing. Can't be mad. I wasn't mad at you. Wasn't mad at Keeper Bird. Wasn't mad at JD, because you all are giving your opinions just like everybody else do, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm gonna be trying to do right here when it comes to the 4K 60 side. So, all right. So first thing I want to put out there, Tone, and I want to put it into perspective to see what everybody thinks, right? All right, so for me, there's like other people that I know that I respect that's doing the 4K 60 content, right? And I'm already thinking about what Keeper first said when he said, you know, you gotta be, I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not quoting, right? But it's basically like, you gotta be real, you gotta keep it 100. You can't be out here misleading whatever the case is, right?
Right.
Now, I want to agree with the misleading part, bro. But for me, on my channel, I just want people to understand, because I do make 4K content, 4K 60. I do 4K 60 videos on Stadia and other platforms, right? So of course it just sent up an antenna like, yo, okay, so I can relate to this. So why not, you know, get on the platform and talk about it myself, right? So the way I feel is, there's so many factors, and me and MM, like, we've been trying to clear it up, Tone, for a long time, man, because like I've been directly not attacked.
Okay.
We'll get into the word attacked and all that stuff.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's
bullying,
what's
attack,
up
and all that, man. We'll get into that later, but I feel like there's content creators who are out here dropping the content, working hard on it or whatever, right?
Right.
Should they mislead? Should they be misleading? Should they mislead people? No. But they put the hours in, they put the titles on these videos and everything, Tone. So I'm asking the question for myself, right? If I put 4K 60 on my stream, in my title, I mean, right? Do I have a right to put that in there? That's the first question I have.
Okay.
Then we'll get into the technical side of it. We'll get into the technical side. Now, I'm just asking, right? Because I want people to think from different angles. But do I have a right to put it out there? I mean, I don't know if you got to answer that one, but
yeah. So that's I'm about to bring them in. I'm setting them up in the
yeah. Bring the boys in.
Y'all can't see. I'm just setting it up in the background real quick. So that was perfect. All right. So let's publish this out here.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
All right. So we live, guys. Y'all are in. Don't be saying nothing crazy.
I hear JD.
We live.
No, first of all,
I hear Keeper first. What's going on, fellas?
What up, Storm?
What up, Storm?
Chilling, man. Chilling. I'm glad y'all can make it, man, because I didn't really want to be asking questions about what y'all had to say to the homie Tone.
Yeah.
So I'm glad y'all could show up, man, first of all. But I mean, anybody could jump in, because I did pose that question, though.
Did y'all hear that question?
Do I have a right to put that title on my video if I want to? You know what I'm saying? If I'm a content creator like that.
Okay.
You have the right, but I think we also have a responsibility if we're putting something out into the ether that we're putting out factual information, especially in this day and age with how people put just whatever on the internet. I think it's in everybody's best interest to be 100% factual, and if you don't know, just say you don't know. But I mean, me and you, we talked offline earlier, like right before the show, and we cleared up some things because I definitely don't want anybody to feel like I'm going at them in particular, except for the people that I was particularly going at, right?
Right.
Like I definitely don't want to catch strays. I try to aim with this assassin like assassin like damn man, I can't even think right now, man. I ain't eat dinner.
With the precision, but keep it.
with the precision, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the move right here. Now y'all heard me say before, JD's no stranger. You know what I'm saying? That bro's been around, man. We chopped up. He's been in the chat and all that stuff, communication off air and all that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know how I get down when it comes to my side of the thing. And I'm glad you said that. It's not all about me or whatever. Like, but see, it made me think, and that's when I told Tone, I'm like, Tone, but it kind of makes me feel like, yo, that's the content I make. So now
okay,
I gotta protect what I create, just like y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's coming at your content or whatever you do, you gotta be like, look, man, a lot of decisions have to be made as far as how you want to address. Like you can sit back and say nothing, or you can say, wait, here's the proper way that I think we could do things. We could talk about it, inform more people, or people that's confused or on the fence about it and just don't have a clue about it. It's going to be informative to all of them. So I don't know. What's your thoughts, man? JD, anybody?
Yeah, man. Like I follow your content for like all of the 4K 60, because you got it all, right? You got the PlayStation, you got the Xbox, you got the PC. You know what I'm saying? And I'm be like, yo, I like seeing those comparison specs to know what I'm getting into when I make a purchase decision, a buying decision. And like we're saying is like you have the responsibility to do it with integrity and to say that, hey, this game is 4K 60, this game is 4K 30, this game is whatever, because that's why I'll follow you for, because you put that in your title. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting that this game is what you're saying it is.
I think the difference too is that
I thought about it, JD. I thought about that, man. I'm not against that thought. That makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if I tell somebody, if I put a title of like 8K 120, then that's garbage. That's misleading. Everybody knows it, right? But see, for me, 4K 60 means that it can mean a lot of different things. But I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of times people might run out of space when it comes to the titles, right? Because if I put 4K 60 stream, 1440p gameplay, whatever, blah blah blah, by that time, the title's too long. My titles, I want to be catchy. And I do, you know me, y'all heard me say triple 4K stream. You know what I'm saying? I come up with my own original stuff. And I put different things out there, right? But I always inform people when I go live. For example, just me now. I'm like, and for the people that's listening and for the other people that might have some questions about what y'all say, I mean, y'all open the platform up and that's why I'm here, because I heard what y'all said. I watched the whole show 3-4 times, right? And y'all kind of like open it up, Tone, open it up, like, yo, if y'all want to come in, but I'm not here to guide. Here's the rules, here's the guidelines, right? So I'm definitely going to be within the framework of the guidelines, but it's just that I think it's an important discussion to have when it comes to 4K 60, because that's what I do a lot of, right? Paid a lot of money, put the time in there, put the effort. But when you get into my stream, for example, what you hear is Project Storm, 4K 60 stream, triple 4K, blah, blah, blah. I'm streaming over here. I break it down how I do it, what equipment I'm using, right? And then I say things like, this game is not at 4K 60, it's at 4K 30. And then if you look at other videos on my channel, for example, you won't even see 4K 60 being mentioned at all, even on the Xbox Series X side, like or Stadia when it comes to Watch Dogs Legion and seriously other games that I played. You just won't see the 60 go up at all. But what I'm doing now is I'm letting people know that this stream is at 4K 60 now. Yes, I could put 4K 60 stream on there. I could put 4K 60 gameplay on there too, right?
Right.
But you know, I don't think that the title should be the focus, because everybody's titles are questionable, man. Like everybody, a lot of people, I won't say everybody, because some people do it clear, like Nerd Nest, for example, right? They have some clear titles, high frame rate, visual quality. I understand all that, right? But what I'm saying is this stream is presented to everybody at 4K 60. And I actually had that on the video that I did yesterday. At the very beginning of the video, hashtag Stadia 100, presented it at 4K 60. You get in there, whatever.
Right.
If you know my content, you know that that's what I do now. But I see it from y'all side too, though. That's why we here, man. I see it from y'all side too.
I had a question real quick though.
Go ahead.
No, because for me, I'm looking at it like, if you're doing it informative, right? Yesterday's show, and I'll make it clear, like, it wasn't really like about people doing it informative. Like, if your video is, you know, this game is not 4K 60, you're gonna have to have 4K 60 in the title, because you're telling people, you're being informative. I think it's more of people like when they're told, hey man, this game's not running at it. I think that's where Kiefer's point was.
I know, and I definitely get that, and that's why I just mentioned the Watch Dogs Legion and all that stuff, because I'm aware of it. And like Outriders, right? I don't know if y'all check that out or not, right? But Outriders.
Oh yeah, that's.
I did a long stream, right? At the beginning of the stream, I'm showing people first, want to be first to break down to everybody that plays on Stadia, right? Hey, look now, and this is why when we get into the Q&A, if I'm allowed to ask some questions or whatever, then I'm gonna ask questions to JD and Keeper, right? And so Tony, so I'm waving the camera around on my, I don't know about other people's displays, but on my display, I have a 65-inch Samsung Q80T, 120 hertz refresh rate and all that native, right? So when I'm turning the camera, immediately I can tell people this game right here is not at 60 FPS, which is what I did. So what they have to, I think people have to come into the content, watch it. You know what I'm saying? Don't weigh so heavily on the title. A lot of people get turned off by the title, I understand. But for me, you know, 4K 60 is just, I'm synonymous with that when it comes to my streams. But I always break it down to the people what that means. Now, I can't speak for everybody. I'm not trying to defend cats that's not here, because I wonder if they would do the same for me. But what I'm saying here is, you got to look at the content that's being created, because there's so many factors in it. Like Stadia can stream. It's capable of being streamed at 4K, right? So when you go and turn the setting, even in the browser, you can turn the setting on 4K, and it goes up from 12 gigabytes per second or whatever to 20 gigabits. So you know, and then you can see the change in the resolution and the clarity. Now the FPS is something different, and I understand that. If a game is not 60, y'all know I've been on record, Rictone, JD. Y'all know. Yeah. I'm not playing the damn game if it's at 30 FPS.
Yeah, that's the thing. He like the real stuff. Yeah,
I mean, that's
known for that.
That's what started the whole thing. It wasn't even the 4K bit. It was the fact that people were putting out 60, and it's clearly like my eyes work. I know my eyes work. They're a little chinky. I got allergies, but I know what I'm seeing with my two eyes. I know that it's not 60 FPS.
Right, but a lot of times I'm playing games that are sick, like the stream I did yesterday. Y'all check that out when you get a chance. You'll see what I'm talking about. The majority of the game, Cyberpunk was even played at 60. Cyberpunk is upscaled to reach 4K, so technically every game I streamed yesterday was 4K 60 FPS on Stadia.
Yeah,
you know,
let's
so
get hold up real quick.
Then that's gonna be the next part, Tone. That's gonna be the next part.
Hold up, MM got a good point. He said let's get into what constitutes 4K 60. Who want to tackle that? Because I know Kiefer's really good at that. Like in Project, like what's 4K 60?
Well, let me let Project go, because he's your guest. He's the man that we're here
60
for.
To me, I see it from all angles, Kiefer. You know what I'm saying? I see it from when Xbox was out here talking. Xbox One X is going to be the most powerful console in the world. True 4K, true 4K, true 4K. Right? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Guess what? It ain't native 4K in most cases. PS4 Pro, y'all, not just to attack Xbox or anything. PS4 Pro, I own both of them. Hey, checkerboard rendering. What you mean checkerboard? Y'all was talking about 4K, and then he came up with dynamic after that, remember? So all that 4K stuff started going out of the window when I realized, damn, checkerboard looked just as good as native in certain cases, right? So I think that's where MM and a lot of other people are kind of like pushing back on that, is because these days DLSS and other enhancements, whatever, they make 4K seem like native 4K. So is it really that much of a big deal? Right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think the 4K is the big deal. I think the frames. Well, for me, it's the frames. Because if it moves like garbage, I'm not gonna play it. But as far as being in a title, you make content that's tailored to showing the difference between different consoles, and you're informative with how you tackle it, right? But there's other people out there that just put out streams, or they just put out gameplay, and then they put it in the title, and they don't even be knowing, bro. Like, they don't even be knowing what they're putting up there. They're just saying whatever because they see somebody else do it. And that's what's got to stop. And then also, like, if you bring up a fact to somebody, be like, yo, I know for a fact that doesn't run at 60 frames per second. Don't just ignore it and be like, this guy got no idea what he's talking about. And then somebody else coming after me saying, yeah, that doesn't run at 60 FPS. Bro, you're obviously wrong. Just correct yourself. Like, don't have that much pride to hold on to wrong information.
You think
that's where I was at.
You think they're shilling? That's a question for everybody. You think they're shilling for Stadia? They're trying to get kudos. Is that going on in the community right now? I gotta ask
big time.
Stuff.
JD was gonna say something. Go ahead, JD.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think is towards that, man. And I also think like Digital Foundry kind of like started this whole thing. They're the main people with the graphics and gameplay stuff, right? So as soon as any content creators start putting 4K 60, 1080, whatever it is, you're automatically going to get viewed as something to Digital Foundry because you're doing a comparison. So now with Stadia, you know, Stadia 100 and all this other stuff with Stadia going on. So now it's even more people trying to be like, well, Stadia is doing great and Stadia has these games and Stadia, this game does run at this, and then they're misinformed on all of that.
So you're saying the Stadia 100 group or people that use that hashtag are misleading people? I just want to get that last part.
No, not the group initially, but when you do, and it's when you do that, when you use that whole like hash, when you go behind a hashtag, right?
Yep.
And you're just a content creator. You're just some average Joe Small. Nobody knows you. You created a Stadia channel, and you're with Stadia 100, right? And you go and you put 4K 60 Outriders, right? And then somebody say, "Hey, Outriders ain't 4K 60. What is Stadia 100?" It's like a bad look.
I see.
For
Stadia. I'm clarifying everything because I don't want, because when project hit me up, I don't want people to think. So if I think something, maybe someone else thinking. All right, cool. That makes sense. Yeah.
Because of Tone, because of that discussion, man. That's why we're gonna. It's all gonna be.
I sent you the link, Twitter, but all right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be informative, y'all. And see, this is the thing. This is what people have to see. A discussion that happens, not behind the scenes, whining and crying, y'all, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, the reason I came on here is because y'all kept it, y'all seem to have kept it real and how y'all felt yesterday. That's the only reason, Tone. You know what I'm saying? I would have been like, Tone, get me in somewhere in the future. Let's talk about something else. But I feel like this is very important, man, because of how y'all feel and how the content creator that's doing the content feel or might feel. Because a lot of these creators, y'all, and again, I said I'm not going to defend them, I'm not, but I listen to their content, right? And I hear, and I won't call out names because y'all don't do the name thing. You know me, I call out names so people won't be confused.
Yeah, that's my channel.
So if I call out anybody's name, then y'all know it's because I don't want people to be mistaken like I was at first. So I watched some content creators, and some of them were on the list, though, Keeper, for right. And I go in and I'm listening to them, and I'm like, yo, okay, the title did say 4K 60 FPS, right? But when you get into their stream, some of the first things they say, right, in certain cases is the game, and they show off the performance. They tell you 30 frames per second, blah, blah, blah. This is not cool. And see, I think people, I think they don't understand. Like, I think if they actually went into the content, watched for a little bit, or asked the questions to the content creator, right on the spot, like in the comment section or whatever. I don't think people should just go and dislike or unsubscribe right away or whatever. I mean, they're entitled to do what they want to do, right? But before you do that, you might be missing out on one of the best content creators out there when it comes to the to the showing off these platforms or whatever, because you just took a second to see the title, you know what I'm saying, and not check out what the content creator had to say.
True.
But again, I see it from all angles, y'all.
Yeah.
Also, but from the other end, if you know that something doesn't match up, right? Like, like if something's 4K labeled 4K 60 and it's not 4K 60, you watch for a little bit, you put it in the comments, and there was no change to the title. It's so easy to change a title on YouTube. Oh my god, it takes 15 seconds
on your phone.
you can do it like that, right? Like you could put a question mark at the end of 4K 60 and be correct.
Now, but isn't this the day and age where clickbait is the way of life? You know what I'm saying? I mean, now I'm not saying that's me. We're talking about as a whole. But isn't that the way? I'm not saying it's cool, y'all, but isn't clickbait the way of life? I mean, Stadia has gotten dragged. Xbox has gotten dragged by clickbait articles and all its titles and stuff like that, right? But that's just the way. So some people might choose to do that.
Not in
because
that sense.
Because they are running a 4K 60, a 4K stream, but they're streaming it at 60 FPS. Because the cloud allows us to do things that consoles and PC just have never allowed us to do before, right? And that is streamed to people in 4K at 60, because Stadia does have 4K 60 native games. It's not a majority of the library, but they have native 4K 60 games. Tomb Raider is one of them. Other games like sports games, whatever one I'm hearing is 4K 60 or whatever, native or whatever the case. I don't even care about the native though. My thing is, what I care about is that people put 4K 60 FPS in their titles. Is the game upscaling to that resolution? Can they still use 4K 60? I mean, nobody I see out there is putting checkerboard 4K 60 FPS or DLSS. A lot of people do DLSS on and all that, but most of the time they're just doing 4K 60. It's up to you if you want to watch the content after
It's
that.
only PC and I think Stadia that you see that in the title. Most people just stream games. You don't see it anywhere.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I was like, wait.
It's on other platforms now. Ooh, it's on other platforms. It's on all the ones.
It's on.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I was about to say it's on.
It's the titles, bro.
It's on if you
when the
search for
PS4 Pro came out and the One X came out. That's what they was promoting.
But right now you have to search for it.
Yeah.
Like right now you got to search for it. Because like you go on Twitch, ain't nobody naming nothing 4K 60. You go on YouTube, top gaming videos right now, you might find one video that says 4K 60 on it. Like it's just not something that's done by people that are really fresh into this, unless they're doing like what you're doing or Original Penguin's doing with breaking down the visuals, with breaking down the stats. But if somebody's just streaming the game or doing gameplay, you ain't putting that in the title. Like it's pointless.
So Project Storm out there are questioning what Digital Foundry is doing. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, some people shy away from that because it's all based on, the person's input or opinion or whatever the case is. But they think some people don't care about zooming in and all that. I'm not taking a shot at anybody, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You can see it all over. Like Digital Foundry, they have it in their comments all the time. So it all depends on what people want to see, I think, when it comes to that. Now, again, if somebody's like 4K 60 native gameplay, only Stadia can do this or something like that, I think that'd be extreme. But I don't know, y'all. I don't want to beat a dead horse either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So I mean, what were you saying, JD?
Hey Storm. So do you agree with me when I said because Stadia is a convenience platform and they promoted live streaming through the service? Do you agree that because of that, that's why we're kind of seeing people with misinformation about their streams?
I don't know if it's a Stadia thing. Keeper first said it, man. People got to do the research. I mean, honestly, the smartest consumers will go out and do the research. The technical enthusiasts will go out and do the research, JD. So that's a hell of a question, right? But a lot of people just know that it looks good. Some people upgrade from a 1X to from whatever console to the next console because it's going to make 2K look better, or Madden or Call of Duty or whatever, right? So a lot of people don't even care. But when their eyes see like a 4K 60 stream, and we'll get into that because like I said, I got a couple questions on something y'all said, a couple things y'all said as far as how y'all felt about 4K and what Stadia can do and all that stuff, man. Versus Nintendo.
Yeah, ask the questions because after this we're gonna segue into Stadia 100. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Since you on here, I had questions, but ask some questions to these guys.
And ask me back. Y'all know how it is. So first for Keeper, right? Like he jokingly said, and he laughed, and that's why I'm saying he jokingly said, right? Something along the lines like it's the frames I can see them with my eye. No, jokingly, like that's something I have said before, right? So I was like, yo, I can see the frames, and that's what I explained to y'all with the turning of the camera, you know what I'm saying, moving like that. I can immediately tell the game's at 30 FPS. If 60 is smooth, especially 60 with desync on and all that stuff. So if you've been gaming for a long time, y'all, you know these things, and especially if you have a gaming PC like I do with a 3080 and all that, as y'all know, right? So it's going to be different for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm out here telling people Stadia runs smoother at 120 FPS on the desktop. Would y'all believe that, or would y'all think I was capping?
I believe it because your GPU is picking up the VP9 and processing that a little bit smoother than like a Chromecast would, right? But frames is just something you can see if you're going from like a 144 hertz monitor and 140 plus FPS on a PC, and then you go to Stadia, like some of us have, or some people have gone from PS5 to Stadia, right? And some games are running at higher frames. You could see that a lot of the, I said it yesterday, there's like 29 games on the platform that run at 60 FPS 4K, right?
Yeah.
And only 10 this year. So the most recent games, due to COVID probably, they're not running at the smoothest, the most optimal frame rates.
All right, but do you know if any of those are upscaled at all, or does it not even matter because upscaled is whack or whatever? Like, what's your thought?
Yeah, I don't care. I just care about frames because I got a 1080p monitor. But I personally just care about frames. I cancel my Stadia Pro.
You just do the frames.
Yeah, I mean, I care about frames. I like the videos like Digital Foundry and what you do and Penguin does. Like, I like that as a tech head. I love that, but I really care about the frames as a gamer.
So
yeah.
So then later on that, Keeper Fur, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I had a whole list of questions in my mind that I was going to ask y'all, because again, when I was watching the show, I'm like, damn, this right here is saying the chat was lit and everything, so everybody was giving their opinions and stuff. That's why, again, y'all, this is why I'm asking questions. But stop me at any time, man. We'll go with the flow of the show. But later, Keeper Fur, and it's just because I know you keep it. It seems like you keep it authentic. Rictone has said, and JD has said, it's about keeping it real. Nobody's gonna come on here. That's what y'all say. Nobody's gonna come on here try to bully or whatever. And I want to get into that later too, because it's messed up that anybody feels that way. And I hope that's not really going down. The bullying and all that stuff is really going down, because I'm starting to see that term more and more, bullying and all that stuff. But then later in the video at the 24:20 mark or something like that, it was around that mark, right? Y'all can go back and see it. I did my research, man, because I wanted to come to y'all with the right stuff. You know, I don't like to come on here. Rictone's professional. You guys like try to be professional in everything you're doing, right? So I was like 24 something. You said that that you can tell the difference by looking. Like, people can tell the difference by looking at it. Now, I don't know if that's what you tried to say, but I was like, now which one is it really though? My homie Keeper Fur. Because
what do you mean?
I was
see the difference of looking at what?
Then you said people, I mean, you were saying at first people can't see it. Then later on, you were kind of like, people can see that. So make sure y'all not out here, you know, just leave it. Not you.
You can always see the difference. I can see the difference. I run a PC. I got a 2060 only. I don't got the 3080 like you, baller. But yeah, I can see the difference. I can see the difference between 4K 1080 and 60, 30, sometimes 10 in Watch Dogs Legion when you get into the more populated areas, which pisses me off.
Yeah. Yo,
you can see the difference with your eyes, and also like with even some of the 4K games, like it depends on the developer that's running it on Stadia, right? Because there's some games where, you know, the blacks come through perfectly dark. You know, there's no pixelation in the dark areas, but there's other games like even on 2K, which was a horrible port. I'm gonna say it every time, even though I run the league for the shit.
On Stadia.
In the triple threat, in the triple threat part, it's a dark neon lit court, right? And you can see the blockage. And then when I play it on PC, chef's kiss.
yeah. Yo, let's welcome you in there.
Yes, I'm here. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, gentlemen?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. I never had 5 in here, so that's what's up.
Hopefully we won't break the mic.
Yeah, we testing it out, man. We testing it. Okay, this is cool. Right. So what's up, MM? Yeah, feel free to jump in, man.
Man, don't let him come here and take my shine, man. Do not.
Man. Hey, look,
I wanted to come in here. I reached out the tone, you know.
I know you did all the hard work. Here I come in to scoop in to take your plate. Give me your lunch, sucker.
Yeah.
No,
he's hopping in, man. He's taking over.
Y'all pivot over Storm, because it was really like, you know, Storm want to give his rebuttal, and if MM has something to say about it, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, right. I want to help the conversation move along, but keep, you know me, I like to get to the bullseye. You know, I think that the learning moment from this is conciseness. I think you guys are all some good, talented brothers that got passion. I want to get to the center of stuff, but I think conciseness is a key fundamental that we got to be self-aware about. So there's so when you look at this conversation, you break it down into 2 subject matters. Subject matter 1 is, what is concisely considered 4K 60 for you to put it in your title? And the other thing too is, how bad is it if some type of information isn't 100% accurate and then you throw that Stadia 100 tag? Let me just on the surface just touch on the first thing, and anybody else can jump on this. Right. When it comes to the 4K 60 thing, as I was trying to explain to my brother Kiefer, and I love you, Kiefer, you got the passion, all that other stuff, but as someone who's been streaming and doing this for a long time, even before I knew what the hell a Stadia was, I'm gonna let you know that people that stream, they look at that stream data that's there, and that's what they go by. It's just not a Stadia thing. Let me give you an example. I used to stream Ghost Recon for months straight before I even knew what Stadia was. Ghost Recon on there. My frame started acting up, but the game was 4K 60 capable. That's what I had in my stream. That's what people will have in their stream. You know what I'm saying? The 4K and the 60. I just was having issues on my end. As you related to Outriders, I get your point on Outriders, but a lot of Stadia games, when you put it in the 4K mode, it can upscale even in the performance mode. So I think a lot of people, like even Storm, even Jim, which I don't rap to Jim all like that. I like his content, but I don't rap to Jim. I don't know what's in his.
I've seen a lot of people do it, like Sonny.
A lot of people do it. But what they're looking at is they're looking at the stream information.
Jim, what up? What up? Let's go.
They're looking at the stream information. They're like, I'm getting the 4K 60 signal. And I'm going to tell you, truth be told, though, Kiefer, even though a lot of people ain't getting it, I was streaming with my boy Raven Anime. When I turned off my G-Sync, turned it back on, I was getting 60 frames per second for a hot minute before that server went down. And then it was poop casserole after that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my homie Original Penguin for counting on pixels and for telling the frames per second that he got. But I did hit a benchmark of 60 frames per second. So it's capable, it's just poorly optimized. So when you take those things into consideration, it's not necessarily that somebody's lying or someone's capping for Stadia. It's just a certain litmus that they're looking at that's worth the discussion. Should y'all be looking at this litmus or should y'all be labeling it something else? But go ahead, Rick.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah. How often out of 100% is it running at 4K 60?
Good question.
Now, like I said, after the fact, it's poop soup. Heck no, it's probably barely hitting 40. But that's your conversation. I get your point. That's your conversation. If you're not getting consistent frames, should it be in your title? That's for everybody. I'm letting you know, as a streamer, bro, everybody do that. That's got to stay.
Also too. Okay, can I put something out there just to help everybody?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't, unless you're making the content that's specifically calling out to the performance of a title, right? If that's what you're doing on that piece of content, like I'm breaking down how the frames run, how it looks, or like first look at the game, right? This is the resolution it runs at. Unless that's what you're doing there, it adds no value to your clicks because people aren't checking for that unless that's what they're there for. They'll go elsewhere.
I think you're bottlenecking it. See, I get to where there's a lot of shady stuff going on. Trust me, I've been doing this for years. You could question a lot of people's integrity. But someone like myself, see, if the world operated what worked for Kiefer, someone like myself that want to pull out my little Pixel phone and I want to see a 4K.
Hell Monkey calling you out.
Oh, Hell Monkey. Wait. I can't even see what Hell Monkey said. You want to bring Hell Monkey in here too? We can have a discussion with the whole hood. Bring Hell Monkey in here too.
Oh, GMR TV shorts, 4K 60, not at all on Outriders.
Tell him, put the hammer down, man.
I need to have Hell Monkey on though. In general, yeah. He keeps it.
Nah, Hell Monkey's the man, yo. I love Hell Monkey. Shout out to Hell Monkey.
All you gotta do is say, man, Storm, cut it, or whatever. We're gonna move on, But so far, this discussion right here again, it's a discussion I love, man. I really do.
To have, yeah.
And he gave a different take on his side of the 4K 60 than what I would get, but I'm still thinking about all the content. Because see, I think this is something that you all are missing, right? As the whole, the whole panel, maybe. A lot of these content, a lot of these content creators might foresee things like I do. Like I foresee one day a lot of people, including you all on the panel, because I heard y'all say that y'all don't even have 4K displays right now. So it's not really on your radar, it seems, right? But there's a lot of people who will be upgrading the 4K displays, and they're gonna be trying to look for content. So no, you shouldn't be misleading people with catchy clickbait titles, even though that's the way of the world, even though that is the way of the world. But you should also be thinking that there's people out here that's getting ready, getting people ready to be watching 4K Stadia content, and that's what I think. That's what I would have tried to encourage people to try to look at.
So what is the litmus test? So this is what I see, right? Because like I'm getting ready to get a 4K set, right? And I'm looking at these videos, so that's why I gravitate to your videos, right? And I encourage everybody to do that. that can.
I appreciate
and so,
that. You know what it is?
So,
it's biblical, y'all. Shout out to the boy JD.
Yeah, so I'm looking at, okay, does this game run at 4K? Does PlayStation say what it say it can do? Does Stadia say what it say it can do to get the 4K, right? And so when I purchased Outriders,
oh my god,
and I see Outriders not living up to the standard, and then some Stadia creator, content creator, even if they're not strictly Stadia, it could be me, right? And I throw that out there, 4K 60 Outriders Stadia gameplay. Now you're telling me as a consumer that I can trust this game is 4K 60 and I can go buy it and play it on my 4K TV set.
That's a good point. Let me put a bow on that. Right. Hold up. Let me put a bow on all of that stuff, right? Because y'all all said some good points, and even Project kind of agree with Kiefer. We shouldn't be putting those titles in the way. I think you should be doing it informative. That's one. So I think we all agree. If you're doing it informative, yeah, put the 4K 60. But if someone tells you should change it, I feel like we all kind of agree with that. You know, the clickbait, yeah, I might sometimes make a wrong title, and it gets a lot of clicks, but you have to have integrity to go back. That's what I kind of think. So I'm trying to put a little bow on where we're going. All the stuff MM said, you know, kind of leaning. I'm not saying he had a good explanation, but I feel like JD's point kind of wrapped that up, where it's like the integrity comes in, where it's like, oh, you know, if it's dipping, just put that it's dipping. I think that's really what the whole thing was about, where people weren't taking it down. I think that was
the question mark.
Can I ask into that though?
That's so easy.
Yeah.
Can I ask about that? But again, that's a fine discussion to have. I think that's a reasonable discussion to have. It's very uncommon when you go platform to platform, but that's okay. It's a fine discussion to have. This is the problem, though. The way that it sounded from y'all is that this was a Stadia specific thing. That's the thing that I'm getting at. This is not a Stadia specific thing. People have games that can reach certain benchmarks via a stream, and that's what they put in their thing. So this is a broader conversation.
My girl, what up? Sorry.
It's a broader conversation that needs to be had, but this is not a state. Look at 4K Upscaler. Y'all know who Mr. 4K Upscaler is?
Yeah, I know.
I know who.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all should be aware of the controversy that he dealt with. This before brother even touched Stadia. Him and others were in the center of a conversation that you guys are having right now, because of certain litmuses that they were talking about, certain benchmarks. But they didn't say, oh, this only the Xbox streamers or the PlayStation. No, it's certain streamers that do that. It's not specific to Stadia. Trust me.
Okay, yeah, well, that's a fair point.
Let me put this out there, though. You have
Stadia.
a lot. You have a lot of Stadia content creators that just started streaming because, you know, the platform has such a low barrier to entry, right? And they self-admittedly say they haven't been gaming for decades, and they're so happy that they're back onto gaming, and that's great. They got joy in something.
Right.
But
and then they say, wait, I'm not done yet, bro.
No, you cut out.
You took a long ass pause. I'm sorry. You was pausing for the Himalayas. Go ahead, brother.
No. Hey, man. Even if I'm from the Himalayas, I'm still a player. So if you're making that point, right? You're so happy to be back in gaming, and then somebody else say frames matter to them. Stadia people will jump on you saying, "Oh, we don't care about frames here." No, you don't care about frames. Right. I care about frames. JD care about frames. Storm care about frames. Rick care about frames, and you care about frames.
Kiefer, let me bring you down, brother. See, this is what I'm saying. Roll out with PNTS. We need to have some drinks or something like that. I got to introduce you to these gamer streets. The same thing you are saying right now, I had to say to my brother King Thrash. Shout out to King Thrash. Y'all know who King Thrash is? Y'all ever heard of him? Y'all probably haven't heard of him. Big time PlayStation guy. Thousands of subscribers. He's known for going to bat with Digital Foundry. He just went to bat with Paul Tassi, big time content creator. King Thrash said to me, real gamers don't care about frames. I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? So again, you make a very valid point, but this point ain't stuck on Stadia people, because not only does Stadia have a low bar to entry, but a lot of these consoles had a low bar to entry. People were buying them used. They're sold out everywhere. You got a lot of people that normally didn't game that are gaming now because of the pandemic that are doing the exact same thing that you're talking about on other platforms. So yes, the issue was right, but I'm just saying the target is a little off. You guys are trying to make this specific about Stadia. And
no. We've seen it just this weekend.
Hold on, let JD say something.
I'm not saying it's not there. I'm saying it's not only there.
Hold up. Let JD say something. Then I'm gonna jump in with the chat. JD, go ahead.
Yeah, so Storm, so I think this is where you wanted to talk about, correct me if I'm wrong, about the bullying, what we said about the bullying. And
yeah,
it happens in every community, but what we saw this past weekend was people playing Outriders, or playing specifically Outriders, and basically, and the Stadia community coming out and trying to defend it, saying that, no, I don't have a problem with Outriders. Everything is nice and crispy with Outriders.
Man, hey, JD, anybody that say that, I got a question mark over their head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't agree with nobody that said that from my end because of the experience I've been seeing.
Right.
Now, at times, yes,
I'm going to give you the floor. Hold up, Project.
Go ahead,
I'm about to give you the floor right after. I'm going to just say something real. I'll try to keep the chat in.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
I just try to keep the chat in too. 1 second. You know, we got to pay bills, man. We got.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, these people help. You know, Chica, what up? You know, one of my first interviews, Chica the Ninja, what up?
Chica.
But yeah, you know, hey man, I'm trying to get my female viewers up, man. Come on, man. Metrics.
No, you've been doing it already, man.
Metrics.
Yo, you gotta wear the tank top like cowboy.
Yeah, for sure.
Where you at, female? No, I hope my wife ain't watching. Hold on.
Yo, your wife is about to give you a talk after this.
I know, right? Hold on. Okay, yeah. So I see some in the chat. King Threat takes all the L's. Yo, we put everything up here, man. So Facebook ain't a fan of King Thrash.
Bro, hey, you got to be a certain type of person, man. Everybody got to grow up a little bit, man. I think, man, you got to be able to handle these kind of discussions. You got to be able to handle a little bit of ridicule.
Yo, I don't shy away from it, man. I'm just trying to get the chat up, and then, you know, I got to go back. But, I like to shout people out because it helps, man. It helps because people always show up. Porter John, what's up, man? I haven't seen him. Maybe these are friends of MM and Project. I appreciate y'all. I know Keen or something is in here. He's friends with
Keel, that's my boy Keel. Yeah, that's my homie.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate
You see what GMR TV says?
Which one? To deliver? This one?
He said it. He said it twice. He said 2 things.
Yeah.
Stream quality from Stadia itself doesn't affect true gameplay as developed by the devs. It's a pipeline capable via Pro. If a dev has a game capable of true 4K 60 FPS, then Pro has the pipeline.
Yeah.
To deliver the 4K 60 experience.
I want to I'm gonna
let y'all loose.
I'm gonna let you.
I'm a Project, and then I'm gonna let y'all loose. No, I just want to at least get the chat. Cause I appreciate them stopping by. Yeah, and what do y'all think with the gatekeeper thing, man? Well, let's just be honest.
Yeah, we want to talk about the gatekeeper thing.
Because Hell Monkey brought up a good point. You know, we're not going after like just a comment. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a thing going on where people they're being fair at front, but sometimes it seems like gatekeepers to people. So we just want to let the chat know that it's not a gatekeeper thing, or if you feel like if you could be the 100% Stadia fan, you just got to be honest. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So we keep it real for the audience. So Project. Oh no, JD gonna say something. I guess real quick.
Yeah. Before Storm go. Look, I'm in the Discord right now. I'm watching. I'm not gonna say who it is, but you know, Rick, we know who Shadow is, and he said Stadia has it the worst. Outdated, stutters, severe pixelation, disconnects, matchmaking across. Somebody came up in there and said that's lies on top of lies for me. I played since the beginning, and it always worked perfectly for me. No stutters, no severe pixelation, no disconnects. So there.
Yeah, you think this chat is crazy?
Now,
the Discord, it goes in. But y'all go. Project, go.
Let me go.
Yes, sir.
I would have a hard time believing that. And I love some Stadia, y'all. But I play everything, but I love some Stadia. Now, and we're gonna get into that because the gatekeeping thing, right? The gatekeeping thing is this narrative that people are spinning when it comes to MM2K, myself, Stadia Revolution, other people who, let me say this. When you ride for a platform like y'all, like, hey, JD, what's your favorite platform? Like right now, or of all time? What's your favorite platform, JD? No cap. PlayStation is JD's favorite platform. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I ain't mad at JD, right? Keeper, what about you, bro?
I don't got a favorite. I go wherever it works. No favorite. I just wherever there's a good basketball game, I play. I don't got a favorite for real.
I
play PC. I got Switch.
I love the
got
controller.
Xbox.
I go by controller. I love the Stadia controller the most. But then I got a Series X. I'm more the games though. But I see where you're going though, Project. I see where you're going.
Yeah, and then MM. What about yours? Favorite platform right now?
I'm gonna touch that face, Kirk.
Oh, my favorite platform right now is Stadia.
All right. So now I think a lot of people have a problem with us getting down with Stadia, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nobody paying. Hey, look, neither one of us on this panel is getting paid yet, unless I know. Hey, if y'all know something I don't know, I need to get in, right? But none of us are getting paid, right? We play these games. We have a good experience. I challenge anybody in the chat, anybody that watches this in the future when it's off air. I challenge any of y'all to come to my channel and check out my Stadia content.
Get out of here, face.
And say it don't look good, and say it don't look smooth. And say it don't look like it's playable and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's going to depend on a lot of factors, though, Tone. I understand that. Not everybody has a gigabit up and down like me. No, not everybody has the equipment to stream at 4K like me and all that stuff. And I really do think, here it is, y'all, I'm about to drop a bomb. I think that sometimes people even get mad about that, man, because you can celebrate 4K 60 while other people can't, man. They stuck at 1080p and 720p, man. I've called that out before. It's not like a new thing, but if you never heard it before, exclusive right now, you heard it first right here on the Rictone live with Project Storm. But then everybody else showed up to take my shine, man. Okay. It's all good.
No, I had to push y'all along. That was too cordial.
Yeah. So MM next. So I'm trying to keep it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me do it like this. I'm gonna wrap to my homie Hell Monkey because he wants some attention. Let's have some fun with this. Hell Monkey says I'm a gatekeeper for Stadia, but who was the most staunchest person that talked about the SG&E closing and when that message went out how poor it was? And I was hammering that 2 weeks straight. Who just came out here for Cloud Gamer Chronicles, not only covered the fact that you can't get Death Stranding for a couple of weeks, which had Hell Monkey crying in the fetal position, sucking his knuckles, but I also said that GFN played Outriders way better than Stadia, and Stadia should be ashamed of themselves, and I clowned them for doing world tours about the game. Who does that? Hell Monkey, I don't see that balance from you, dog. So did that noise. Anyway, back to the illustrious panel. I just want to say this. Again, what you guys are saying is spot on as far as generalistic problems in the community. But when JD went in there, guess what JD did? He went and read one comment, right? How many people were wrong in the PlayStation community about RDNA 3, right? How many people were wrong in the Xbox community about scale up and scale down? You know what I'm saying? People are wrong in communities all the time. You got illustrious fanboys everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that the entire community is toxic. So my thing is that, and I had to say this I was talking about this with my homie Avery earlier today. Let's not take interactions with less than 1% of the population and peg that to the tens and thousands of Stadia community members that may think just like y'all. And that's what it appeared like y'all were doing yesterday. Y'all was taking the less than 1% of people that act like weirdos out here on the internet, on Twitter, and y'all want to peg it to the whole community, and that's not accurate.
Oh, hold on. Let me just say, the video yesterday, right, or the live stream, it was more of I saw something that was in my intro. I saw interactions on Twitter, and I wanted to give everybody a voice, but it wasn't like me but I see what you're saying. Maybe you're just saying it in jest, but it's not like Kiefer and I were talking about this for days, and I'm like, I was like, oh yeah, and we're talking. I was like, oh yeah, let's just do a live. You can explain it, and we can get interaction. So it wasn't like a team. It wasn't like we agreed, or I just wanted to make that clear. It was more.
I don't know, but you the homie. I don't know. Kiefer was the grand wizard. He was like, look, man. He was like, the Stadia community was like, and he was man, because of this happened and that happened. So it was like I was co-signing on the car lease right there.
I was more saying the interaction that I saw was like, man, that's too bad. I was more on the sidelines. To be honest, that stuff don't affect me, but I was like, it's good for the views. Let's do it. Let's it really don't. Like, I'm sorry, like it
So
don't.
when I put a like on
the
it,
views.
But
I
it
would
was
say,
cool.
well,
It was a
I
good
put a like on
convo.
this
Look
too.
at the chat. Look at the
No,
chat.
no, but
Okay.
check it
It
out.
was a good convo.
The ones that are active on social, the Stadia champions that are active
going at it.
on social, they will say whatever to make the platform look good, even if they're completely wrong, right? We could agree on that. And then they'll attack somebody who doesn't have an optimal experience, which is toxic. Like, it's a fact that if you even I have a gigabit internet, right? If something spikes, if my kid's jumping on Roblox and they're on a voice chat and then got another tablet on, you know, there might be a spike, right? We can agree on that. And then
now,
just think about somebody.
I heard y'all say something about hardwired.
Yeah.
Are you hardwired?
I'm hardwired. No, but that's besides the fact. Like,
I'm hardwired.
Y'all lucky.
My experience is pretty good with Stadia when I want to use it, except for the games that don't get support. Like 2K, fuck 2K. Not UMM, just the 2K. 2K.
I got you, bro.
But yo, like no, you can't. Like they'll go at people and they don't even know what their situation is. Like dog, it's not their fault they live in Kentucky where there's no broadband, or they live in the hills in Maryland somewhere and there's no broadband. It's not their fault. So why are people jumping on, like flooding somebody's mentions? Like, oh, did you try this? You obviously don't know how to use the internet. Like, fam, relax. Somebody said it didn't work for them. Like, chill.
Oh, yeah.
You got little brother syndrome.
Hey, check it out.
Let me piggyback.
And I heard you say that yesterday. I was like, yo,
yeah, you got that popcorn, Ray.
Now look,
Stadia Rev, I gotta get you on.
Hey, okay. Hey, send that shout out to Rev, man. Send that out.
Yeah, Stadia Rev, man, the original, man. Him and Face were going at it.
Yes, sir.
I know they go. Hey, people gonna go at Rev. Y'all know Rev.
I don't
Rev
put
is the infamous, man.
Yeah.
Now check this out.
Hold on, can you read?
Let's talk about. Hey, while we're talking about Rev, real quick, we're gonna go back to bullying and attacks and all that, because again, once that's out there, y'all, and y'all touch.
Storm, I hate to interrupt you, bro. I hate to interrupt you, but there was something that Rick put on the screen. We gotta address it. Shout out to the homie Game Tech Planet. He said it's not less than 1%. Bro, Storm, I don't know if you want to tackle that first. Game Tech Planet, I'm not really that familiar with you. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, good brother. There are tens of thousands of Stadia people that interact on social media. Show me where there. What's 1% of tens of like 60,000 or 20, 30,000? What's 1% of that? I want you to show me 200 weirdos that be out here on Twitter every day, harassing people and stuff like that.
But let me interrupt you, MM2K. Like, check this out. As a Stadia content creator, and we all know, like, even if you have a Discord, even if you have your own community, even if you got thousands of people playing Stadia, the main heavy hitters, like, we know who they are, right, for Stadia content. And so as soon as you put out 4K 60, somebody major, you know, people are gonna flock to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I barely got, 70 subs right now, right? Nobody's flocking to me. Like, if I was to do that type of content, put 4K 60, okay, I might get a couple of those thousands of Stadia people out there, but you guys are going to get the majority of that pie. And so this is what we're talking about. When a consumer sees your video, the Stadia content person saying that it's 4K 60 is whatever, and it's not, you guys are getting majority of that pie of the people in the community.
Right.
That's hurting your brand too.
Let me say something.
That's hurting your brand.
Let me say something real quick. Hold on. I'm just saying show stuff. For the most part, I'm just saying show stuff. I'm listening to y'all, but I just kind of do the chat real quick. If you see me interject, I was not trying to take y'all thunder, but yeah, thank y'all for being here in the chat. I appreciate that. And whatever, that little disclaimer, any thoughts or whatever is written in the chat, that's the views of those people. Okay, y'all know I'm homies with everybody.
No, you're a politician for real, Rick.
I'm letting y'all know. Hell Monkey's my boy. It could be if y'all have issues, but I rock with all of them. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Could be do anything else, but y'all are watching. That's cool. I'm just letting y'all know. Whatever views y'all do, that's up to y'all. I respect all of y'all. Put it like that.
I'm gonna say this again. I think it's a very valid point. You got people like myself who care about this stream, I know
Appreciate
better.
you,
I know what to look at. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people know what to look at. But when I'm on my Pixel phone, I'd rather it be in a 4K 60 stream because I can differentiate the two between a certain stream and a gameplay because I'm looking at it from a perspective of what I'm viewing. You guys are bringing up, what if somebody sees certain litmus in a title and they think that that's the gameplay experience they're going to get? That's a valid point. All I'm saying is that's not exclusive to Stadia. It's a problem here. I'm not saying it's not a problem here. It's a problem here, like it's a problem everywhere. That's the
right,
point.
but it's more of a problem here because the reason why I feel like it's more of a problem here is because of everything that's going on with Stadia right now. Would you agree with like the Stadia SCNE?
No, I mean when you say it's more of a problem, do you mean more people are doing it at a more ratio of people? Because we know there's not a whole bunch of people on Stadia. So you saying there's a more ratio of people doing it than on other platforms?
I thought you just said there was tens of thousands of people on Stadia.
That's not a lot. How is that compared to Xbox?
I think
You know how many people out there on Xbox? Go check the Xbox Reddit.
Okay. Listen. We're gonna pivot though. This is perfect. The way my app is Restream. I'm hearing 20 people watching or whatever. So let's do it like this. The last part, you know, because I gotta hit up the wife, you know, after this. But you know what I'm saying? Yo, we all adults.
She heard you calling out thirsty.
No, right? To get you. Yeah. So I wanted to touch that because this could go on. I'm doing this again, man. I'm gonna see how much I can have in here. I think it's 6, maybe 8, but this is nice, man. I'm gonna do this again. But y'all touch on the Stadia 100 thing. Listen, I already let y'all know. If y'all know me, like my brother, of course, my real life brother, he knows me. Yo, nothing affects me. I'm just straight up, you know what I'm saying? I'm just pretty even keel. Nothing really affects me. All of this controversy, you know, it's nothing, man. I grew up in the hood, man. This is nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, Tom.
Just like talking words and stuff. This is nice. I wish I had to worry about words growing up. But let me put it like this. The Stadia 100 thing, I see a little controversy. These aren't my opinions and stuff. I got a consumer-based channel. I look at what people do, and I'm like, let me just, you know, I have a, you know, a vehicle for them to say what they gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I remember Kiefer, 30 subs at the time, way more now. JD, I try to bring on people. You know what I'm saying? So their voice, because they got really good things to say. So that's all I do. And but now I'm getting other guys. MM is in here. Project. This is all I'm trying to do. Just want to let people know I'm just bringing thoughts here. It's not like, oh, I'm just thinking about this, what's going on in the community. But I feel like it's an interesting thing. And instead of hiding behind keyboards, that's why I wanted to have this. So someone explain the Stadia 100 thing and let us know some pushback. This was gonna be another show, but if I got he's busy, so it's crazy to get him right here. So project, what's the Stadia 100? And what blowback have you been getting? And we can all kind of talk about
you want to tackle that first, Storm? I did come out here
man, because you will get into it and then I won't get a chance.
Yeah, sorry
so
about it. I gotta get Storm alone one day.
Hey, now,
I told you gotta stop it.
Not clear. Hey, Tone, man, hell of a show. First of all, man. Hey,
hell of a show.
A lot of people didn't know what Stadia 100 was, man. They thought it was. I'm gonna tell you what it was. Hey, y'all tell me if I'm lying now. Anybody in chat, y'all got to man up now. Let's keep it 100% real. I'm gonna keep it 100% real, right? Who thought? Raise your hand if you thought that Stadia 100 had everything to do with MM2K when you first heard about it. Raise your hand.
Or put a 1 in the chat.
Nobody want to raise their hand. Nobody don't want to raise their hand. Now we ain't keeping it real.
I thought
now
so
they don't want to raise it.
I thought so. No.
They know they lied.
Not everything to do with 2K. I think he was in it.
But I just saw it was like,
he's
oh,
not
that's cool.
all 100. How is he? He's not 100.
No, it's not. But see, hey, first of all, it's a catchy line because it made people think about it. Like, what the hell does it mean? Is 100 people, like 100 Stadia content creators? What is this? You know, so it got people talking, right? But all it was for the community. It was for everybody that's involved with Stadia. It was a campaign that was set up that everybody who makes the Stadia content can use this hashtag to point people in the right direction. Now, you got a lot of trash content. I'm gonna call it that. What y'all want to do about it, right? Some trash content from other people outside the Stadia community, right? Listen, I'm talking about the people outside the community that trash Stadia because why? Generates clicks. We know that happens, right? I think we all agree. So it's kind of like the way I saw it was like a way to kind of single out some of that craziness, you know what I'm saying? And then get you the content that you want to watch, specific content, not always 1000% positive. You can't control nobody in that fashion and say it has to be positive all the time, because if a frame drop or a Stadia disconnects or I can't connect or whatever, then I'm gonna have to say that live on my stream. I'm gonna have to be real about that. So the thing is though, it was for everybody, and some people trashed it without even knowing. Without even knowing it could have benefited them. Like I said to MM, I'm like, yo, so many smaller content creators could benefit from this, because can you imagine? Now think about this. Say MM2K, myself, Clyde, John Scar, whoever else wanted to get in, right? Sonny says, yo, you know what, guys, I like this movement. Anybody, right, could say, I like this movement. Then now they're putting Stadia 100 on the thing, and you're affiliated with that? Like, that's what it was about. It was about the whole community. It wasn't about, here's the initiative to take over what y'all trying to do. And that's what some people saw. Now, I know I'm right on that. Somebody prove me wrong.
No, what you think, though? Because we got people here saying that. I like how people are brave. Some chats, people don't say it. I hear it later on Twitter. I'm like, come to the live. So Maker of Chaos is saying, basically saying it's like an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? That he's saying it's gonna encourage Informed Gamers reviewing all games as a whole. He's saying it's
that's why I want to go second.
So yeah, y'all can respond to him. That's not my dummy account. All right.
No, that's all. It's all right.
Hey, you know how we do, man.
Look, here it goes.
I ain't got that much money.
Let me ask y'all a question, and when I say y'all, I mean everybody in the chat. You know, when the Suku was out, that is the Stadia unofficial community update. When that came out, did y'all have a problem with that? Shout out to Duncan. When we was doing things when before Chase was Gamer Advocate, he was Stadia Talk. And Eddie Player One, before he was Eddie Player One, he was Stadia Player One. You know what I'm saying? Club Stadia was originally Club Stadia and so forth. And Duncan was over at Stadia Source when we was all just circulating Stadia stuff, right? When we was just circulating Stadia stuff, when we wasn't talking about xCloud stuff, and we was feeding an audience that wanted Stadia stuff. Did y'all have a problem with that? And the community was a lot smaller then. So the community is a lot bigger now. The homie Jack Deslip, shout out to Jack. He put out statistics that showed that despite our rhetoric going back and forth, Stadia community's toxic and all that, that we had higher engagement numbers than we've had in a long time. The community is growing. So if the community is growing from when we originally was circulating Stadia stuff and they wanted it then, why don't you think they want it now? And this isn't to shout out anybody else. Me and Storm are co-captains of the PNTS network. We're GSN before GSN existed. We've been doing Nintendo Switch stuff, Xbox stuff, PlayStation, PC, mobile gaming. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing it all. So we all, you know, we enjoy it all. It's not about gatekeeping. It's about filling a void that was created because either people didn't want to do Stadia content or the Suku stuff was gone. We're not mad that nobody wants to, or that people don't want to do Stadia content. You got to do what's right for your channel. But that still doesn't solve the void that's out there for people that say, hey, I want Stadia specific content. Let me just give you one more scenario. I watch all types of movies. I watch tearjerkers with my wife. I watch cartoons with the kids, and when I'm by myself with a shot of Popper 12, I watch badass karate flicks. There's nothing wrong with me getting up in the morning and saying, you know what? I just want kung fu flicks today. That's all I want.
Right.
And that's all Stadia 100 is. It's the Suku, it's the retweeting that we used to do, just repackaged for those people that want that specific content. It's not to say that you only supposed to like Stadia content or you die in a volcano somewhere. And that's where the caricatures and the crazy stuff came into play. Yep, go ahead.
Can I ask a question? And this is not this is just because I care about you guys as creators, right? Having that hashtag, and then if somebody else that's attached to the hashtag or they're using the hashtag, they're putting out false information that's hurting the brand, that hurts you guys. So you guys got to curate that a little bit better, man.
So if somebody goes out there and they put out, you know, X going to give it to you, and they put out that, you know, scale up and scale down is the thing that works. And that was a big thing in the Xbox community. That hurts the Xbox brand too, right? You can't control everything negative, bro. You can't control it. When you hear about it, you address it. But we can't sit there after every single tweet and filter out just like Phil Spencer can. And that's just unsurmountable. But what you're talking about is a rarity opposed to what's going to happen normally. What's going to happen normally, it's going to work the same way it did when this platform first launched. People are going to say, hey, do you want access to Stadia content? I'm doing a stream, Stadia 100. Just like they used to say, if you want access to Stadia content, check out the Saku. I don't want to, I'm not trying to say this what you're trying to do, but what happens is when we put the least likely scenario as the most likely scenario, it leads to a realm of fear mongering. This is something that used to work back in the day, and now you got more hands in the pot to make it work now. It's just a revitalized version of it.
I think though with and I'm going back to it with the barrier to entry and the amount of people that are creating content that don't really know what they're talking about, that's gonna hurt. And I don't know if you're taking into account of that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's just different.
It could have an impact.
That's an agree to disagree.
I want you guys to succeed, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, that's an agree to disagree thing.
I don't.
Yo, you said it. He said it yesterday that he wasn't against the idea and all that. He just, hey, Keeper, I respected the fact that you didn't get down with it or all that stuff. But see, a lot of people just thought it was something else that it's not, and that's what we tried to clarify. We tried to clarify that several times, right? We said this for everybody. Y'all know I play everywhere: Xbox Series X, PC. You know what I mean? Stadia, GeForce Now, Luna, whatever, right? I play it all. I'm on board. How can this help me? It's going to help me, but forget all that. Forget Project Storm. This is going to help the next RJ Stadia. I use his name. Shout out to RJ Stadia and JD and everybody else that's trying to get up here to 100 right now. Like Rictone, you heard me say live in the stream. This is what it's about, Rictone. Remember when you used to pop on my streams? And I was like, Tone, you're going to be out there one day, bro. When you do, I'm going to be right there.
I always put you
your
out
boy
there,
not right there, Tone?
Straight up.
Tone, was your boy not there?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like
he was on my first
really
live project. Project was my first viewer on my first live.
And we talked about the 4K meat, and I was real with you. I said, bro, you ordered that because you remember the time you thought you had that 4K. I was like, Tone, about to step it up. Yo, go hard on this Destiny content or whatever division at 4K. And he said, yo,
Receipts.
Yeah. And I said, Tone, the one you got, man, it's not going to do the 60 and all that. And then I know you changed your mind after that or whatever. But Tone, we was there, man. That's my point.
True. True, man. I always talk
I'm trying to understand. If I go out there and I do a GFN stream and I say, I can stream GFN in 8K 300 frames per second, cloud gaming. Are we then concerned that I'm destroying the cloud gaming? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're putting a certain litmus on Stadia again that we're not putting elsewhere. It's just a hashtag. It's just a hashtag. People use them all the time. We're just saying, please use this hashtag to identify Stadia content because viewers want access to Stadia content and they don't have the same tools to access it that they used to. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, I see an overall positive. I get both sides, man. It's just perfect. My personality works to do lives because honestly, I see both sides. I really.
That's why I'll be coming back, Tone.
I definitely see both sides, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta peace out, man. It's past the
All right,
time. To get murdered.
Hey, you know we gotta
get on some Outriders.
Yeah,
maybe not on Stadia right now.
Yeah,
not on Stadia right now, but we gotta get on some Outriders, brother.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
man.
Perfect timing, man.
Right, good talking to y'all, fellas, man.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Yeah, go drop likes for all these dudes, man.
Yeah.
Do the same.
I'm gonna link all you guys.
same.
I'm gonna link all you guys. No, it was a good
But this is
conversation.
But yo, this is not.
Finish it.
Hey, Tone. This is what I'm talking about, bro. This is how you handle things. You don't get on the keyboard and go in the DMs and all that crazy stuff, right? You get on here and you talk it out, man. Shout out to Now Your Mama Knows for doing, some of the stuff that he does, man. I'm telling y'all, I bite my tongue all the time. MM is always like, Storm, do you, man? But at the same time, I think about it. I'm like, I don't want to hurt this, bro. I don't want to hurt what we trying to build. So I try to. It's hard, man. So I like the fact that we have an open discussion, man. Like, I feel like too many people are sitting behind fears and concerns and frustration and dislike toward others. But man, let me say something real quick, because I talked about Stadia Rev earlier, and I want Rev to know the reason why they probably mentioned your name is because I called out, I said your name. But I remember Rev, going back to that bullying and all that stuff, right? The bullying and all that. So I saw Rev get some people threw some shots at him that was crazy. If they would have said it about me, I probably would have been like, yo, man, I'm going to call my homie up, hit somebody up. We're going to pull up real quick, right? That's how I would have been feeling. But Rev is Rev. Rev like took it on the chin, all because he said what he wanted to say about the platform, and he combated some of the nonsense and the misfact, the things that were not facts, right? The untruths or the lies about the platform that he plays games on. He gave up Nintendo and other. So this is just one good example. He gave up Nintendo and all these other platforms to play Stadia on primarily because it fit his use case, man. Like, so right. Because he kept it real about that. Now, because the way he said things, like Hell Monkey came in the chat, he said what he had to say tonight. MM said what he had to say. Ain't nobody ready to go knuckle up. It's just that sometimes we got to grow up, be grown men and women, and have these discussions. Tone, I appreciate you, bro. That's all. Yeah.
That's why I wanted to make a forum, man. We just talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scouring the internet for controversy. I literally sometimes somebody was like, "Oh, let's just do a show," and I just do. I'm really not like. Look at my channel. All my content is just reviews, movie reviews. I'm a geek, man. I just like tech and stuff. But the lives, you know, anything happens. You know, anything can happen. So,
I mean, you ain't gotta ask for the drama. The drama just shows up at your doorstep. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens, man. I just feel like when it comes back to the bullying, it's like, hey, if we do, because I'm part of the Stadia Bash Community Network, everybody know that. But I got a PlayStation headphones. PlayStation is my favorite platform. You know what I'm saying? I got a Switch. You know what I'm saying? I've been gaming for years. Like, but I can stand behind Stadia 100. I can stand behind the SBCN. I can do the podcast, the Cloud Station TV, right? And just be everywhere. But when people try to hate because and say like, okay, well, you know, why you pushing Stadia so hard? It's all about, you know, this and that, and it's not about this. And I'm like, hold on, Stadia is not just about what you thinking about. You're biased towards that just because you want it to succeed. And I think a lot of people just want Stadia to succeed, which we all do. But, you know, don't lie. You don't have to lie to kick it. That's what I said on last week. You don't have to lie about Stadia not performing well or not doing what is being what they told us that it was going to be, just to, you know, say, well, stop. Well, we're going to shut you up, Project Storm. We're going to shut you up, MM2K. For putting the Stadia 100 out there. Like, we're just going to shut you up.
Wow.
Can I talk about the weirdo? I mean, not well. There's some weirdos out there, but can I talk about the bullying?
So talk about that bullying. We're gonna finish right after that thought.
Oh, okay.
But
the bullying.
Yes, sir.
I hear a lot like, oh, the Stadia 100 people. This is a bully tactic to try to force people into only liking Stadia, which, again, if that was the case, we would have to shut down PNTS Network, right, Storm? Last time I checked, it's still up and running, and we're doing enhancements, right? So with that being said, I want to tell y'all about a story of bullying that really touched me over this weekend. And really something that I want y'all to think about, that you like to use that word and that term toxic against people that like Stadia. So I got unadulterated with DMs, like really got a bunch of DMs from people that were like, oh man, I love this. I love this. Yes, this is what we were missing. You know, this is great. I don't know why some people take it negatively, but this is great. Keep it going. I can't wait to use it. It's already helping me, blah, 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 right? And then through some of them DMs, I got a couple of people that said, hey, look, I really like this initiative, but I want to support it out in public, but I can't. And I'm like, why can't you? Because people are trying to tag it to this and tag it to that, man. I'm so sorry. And then one cat even came to me and was like, yo, I'm supporting y'all in secret. Here's what I created. What? And I'm like, what? You really got to do it like that? So with the rhetoric out there, people saying, and the brother that did this, one of the brothers that I'm not going to put it all on his shoulders, but one of the brothers that did this, he did make amends for it today. So shout out to him. But all the people that are akineness to gatekeeping and all this crazy stuff, understand what y'all are doing. Y'all are intimidating people that just want to enjoy something that they love. That's it. I felt so bad. I got into an argument with my wife because she was mad. I was texting this guy back while we was having dinner out at this restaurant. And I told her, leave me alone, damn it. I'm dealing with, you know what I'm saying? But that's sad. That's sad. And y'all got to look at what y'all doing. Stop wagging the finger. We all as a community got to look at what we're doing together. Stop demagoguing each side. Let's just play these games. If you like what you like, love it. Whatever. If you like it, I love it. But at the end of the day, Let people enjoy what they're going to do. Let them do what they want to do with their content, and let's just enjoy these games, man. Period.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
so,
man,
man,
that
was an awesome show, man. What I'm gonna do is, you just give a final thought, and we go around. I'm gonna end with, well, I have two guests, man. It was unannounced, but like, all right. So JD's gonna say where he's at. Final thought. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. I'll hit y'all up in DMs and all that. I really appreciate that. And then Project will finish off. You know what I'm saying? Just a final thought where we can find you. But this was an awesome conversation, well needed. It's kind of spur of the moment. It's natural, but you know, we talk about things. I appreciate everybody's point of view. I'm not just BSing, man. I could shut the thing off right now. I'm telling you the truth, like straight up. I appreciate everybody's opinion, and I feel like this is how men do stuff. Men, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We call it grown men. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is grown men talk. Like we're not running around. We can't see each other in real life, but we're not running around. The chat was honest with each other, but at the end of the day, let's all try to get along. But you know, if you got to deal with something, you guys do that. You know what I'm saying? Men got to deal with things sometimes. But this is how I like to deal with things and show the younger generation. You got a problem, you got an issue, it's good to talk about it. We're just all adults. And I think it was very fair tonight. Some people got their personal things, but it was very fair. I hope no one was offended. Everybody feel like they got something. I hope so.
I think it's a perfect example, Tone. Nobody screamed over each other. Nobody disrespected each other. None of that, right? Now the chat said what they said. You said what you said.
Chat's gonna, yeah.
So y'all go ahead, man.
All right, cool. So JD, do the rounds.
Yeah. So my final thoughts, man, is just, hey, if you're doing a tech video out there, any content creator, Stadia, whatever, PlayStation, whatever, don't matter. Look, man, just try to be truthful, be factual, do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Because that's integrity matters to certain people, and you can do more harm than good when you don't do that. For everybody else, enjoy your games, man. Go and play those games. If you don't care about 4K, you care about, you know, just it works, then it's all good. Enjoy your games. But yeah, you can find me JD3MXP on all platforms. You can catch me here with Rictone at Waypoint Gaming Podcast. You can catch me at Cloud Station TV on Wednesdays, and then you can catch me on Stadia Bash Community Network Friday Night Fights, baby.
What you doing Tuesday? You busy. Got Monday tonight, Wednesday. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. So man, where can we find you?
You can find me MM2K videos. We still do the commission on Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out there. We're going to have a special guest this week, my homie, Proper's Places, coming through, where we talk all things gaming. I bet a lot of y'all didn't even realize that we had that show. We talk all things gaming. Check it out. Commission, 8 p.m. on MM2K's channel. You can also catch me creating content for Stadia Dosage News, Stadia's Dosage Streams. Hey, look, I'm coming for this chump Project Storm. I got 4K video coming out. Stay tuned. And with that said, that's it for your boy.
That's it. Awesome.
Make sure you ain't capping the title, man. You know what I'm saying?
1,000 frames per second.
Kiefer's gonna get
like
y'all,
what JD
man.
said, I got to go back and do my own little JD thing, man. So what I'm gonna say is, y'all, don't be in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Don't put all the content creators in the same bubble, y'all. Like when you go check their content out, first of all, check their content out, listen to them, chop it up with them in the chat, get a feel for how they are, what their thinking is before we make assumptions out here, and come to a conclusion or label them, you know what I'm saying, as whatever, liars or whatever, man. I think we need to spend some time, ask questions, hit them up in the DM. I think that'll be helpful for the strength and the endurance of what we do in gaming, man, no matter where you game at. So find me right here, right here on YouTube. Project Storm is the channel. That's the avatar you see on the screen right there, y'all, that has everything in it. Xbox, GeForce Now, Stadia, Luna, everything's up in that low avatar right there, right? But check me out, dropping 4K content all the time, 60 FPS, y'all, playing PC, whatever, at 100 or something FPS. It is what it is, y'all. 8K videos, I do a little bit of those every now and then when I feel like it. Stop by, man. Y'all can find me right there on Stadia Doses with the brother MM, especially on Wednesday for SSC Podcast, y'all. 1 o'clock. Yes. It's going to be a big one. Me and Rev was working on something that might get pushed back because we're going to be doing that commission. But y'all, stay tuned to the streets. Subscribe to the channel. Hit Keeper Pro up. Do the same thing. JD, y'all know what it is, man. Rictone, that's what's up.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. Y'all can find me here, man. Rictone Live, man. These things spur the moment, man. Only thing I really have is Waypoint Thursday night at 8. But other than that, I just do content, man. But I like to bring conversations out there, man. I got the temperament for it, man. I don't get offended. I got very thick skin, man. So I'm good. I'm good with it, man. But I appreciate y'all coming. Y'all made this great. I'm gonna rewatch this, man. I'm gonna rewatch this. Feel free. Anybody was on here, you could download it. Put this on your channel. It's all good, man. Just spread the love. You know, if you especially got a smaller channel, good to throw up some content up there, man. People that was on it, not in the chat. I copyright too. Like all of you guys, I was
don't spam the chat.
Yeah, so I appreciate you
real
guys.
quick, it wasn't even
Yes, sir.
planned, bro. That's how it comes together, man. You just opened up the platform, bro. You know, if we was about that garbage, you wouldn't have invited us on here.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Being so candid. All right, fellas, y'all take it easy. Peace.
All right, better up.
DMX, man.
Peace.
DMX, throw up an X for DMX, man. R.I.P., man.
Peace, everyone. Peace. Thank you, guys.
Peace.